Okay, let's have this example. This is an example for risk preference and variability analysis. And we have two projects available. We have Project Alpha and the Project Beta. And you can actually initially see that there are difference in numbers of the outcomes. For the Project Alpha, we have two possible outcomes. Whereas for the project beta, there's only one outcome with a probability of 1. And with 1 that is, again, when we say 1, the probability of that happening is very certain. Okay, so we have two projects and we are going to calculate their expected return, average expected return. The EMV of the A, we just, again, like the previous formula, zero point 0.4 times 15 million. This is the high outcome plus the 60, 0.6 times the 5 million low on outcome. And this is equal to 9 million. Whereas for our V, or B rather, project beta, that is equal to same 9 million. Now in our previous decision rule, right, we are going to choose the project with highest profit, or the EMV with highest profit, or lowest cost, EMV with the lowest cost. But how about for this one when our monetary values for both are equal? And the answer for that will be it really depends, right? Our alpha has higher variability. What do we mean when higher variability? It means that A has higher variance, there are many variations, there are many possible scenarios or outcomes, while B provides certainty. And the selection for this one, the engineering decision really depends on who you are talking to. If you are talking to an investor that is risk neutral, an investor who doesn't mind the risk, but looking forward that for that project, he might gain higher, like let's say 15 million or higher than 9 million, we may select alpha. But we have a contractor that is more concerned with cash flow stability, since again the project alpha is has higher variability and he wants to be more secure, then he may select beta. It is how we decide on which project to select. EMV does not only guide us which one to choose, but we need also to consider the different background, the risk preference of who we are talking to. All right. And the application for this one, we use EMV because it supports decisions involving for this one, like what we have done earlier, selecting the construction methods, contractor bidding strategies, the procurement of the equipment, maintenance planning, flood control investments, bridge rehabilitation options, and options and flood control investments. And probabilities, again, where did we get the probabilities? We got the probabilities, they're estimated from historical data, from expert judgment, of course, to relate repeated experiences. And don't forget that we also include engineering studies for this one. Now, there are advantages and limitations of EMV. We need to face this because, again, each method, economic method, has their own pros and cons. Advantages of our EMV is that this is simple and objective. You apply probability of the outcome happening, and then you just choose the outcome with the highest EMV or the lowest cost, the highest expected profit or the lowest expected cost. And it incorporates probability because, again, projects are uncertain. We cannot really predict for sure what outcome will happen in the future. And here we also, it facilitates comparison of alternatives and support rational economic decisions. Now the limitation goes on this is that it depends on reliable probability estimates. If the probability estimates is not reliable, it is problematic, then we are expecting a problematic EMV. Because again, this is just probabilistic. This is not deterministic, right? We do not predict. This is just at an average of previous historical data. And the limitation, another limitation is that again, this is just it only represents the average outcome, average possible outcome that will happen, and this is not a guaranteed result. And lastly, this does not directly measure variability or risk attitude. Just like in our previous example, the two projects have the same expected profit or value or expected return. It only gives us the monetary part or the numerical part, but it doesn't give us the risk attitude, right? And the directly measure the variability. So to sum up, what did we have discussed earlier? We have the risk. This when we have a risk, the probabilities are known and they can be estimated. Outcomes are uncertain, yes, they are uncertain, but there are probabilities for this one, and we can know that with at least certainty, or they can be estimated. And when we say probability, since you are applying probability for this one, that is the likelihood of an outcome happening, the chance that that outcome will happen. And EMV is just, again, this is just the probability weighted average monetary outcome. So the EMV can be profit. So when we say profit, the problem might say what is the expected profit, or what might be the expected cost, or what might be the expected present worth. If we have these terms, averages, we have the probabilities there, then we apply EMV. And the decision rule is, for this one is choose the highest EMV for profits or the lowest expected cost for the cost base. And I'd like just to remind everyone that this is just a decision support tool. EMV is a decision support tool and not a prediction. It provides us the expected average economic outcomes across many similar situations that, and enables engineers to compare alternatives rationally when probabilities are available. We still need to distinguish the best possible outcome with the best expected outcome. Because again, the best, like in the previous example, we have the best outcome, possible outcome of 20 million, but the best possible outcome is might be unlikely. But the best expected outcome considers both payoff and likelihood. The EMV, we cannot only just choose, oh, we choose this alternative because it has the best possible profit of 20 million. But if you look at the poor possible scenario, you will have a negative 5 million. That is a loss. And EMV will give us the best expected outcome. And because of that, the EMV considers the probabilities of each. We consider both the good and the likelihood of the good and the bad, or the worst outcome. And this distinction is fundamental to engineering management and project evaluation. Now, before we end this video, you will have a group this activity, and you are going to construct a tender risk evaluation. So, your group will represent a consulting engineering firm assisting a contractor. Here, you are going to compare two possible approaches. You have alternative A and alternative B. And these are the details for each alternative. We have the alternative A and the B with each scenario, possible scenario, and their profit. And afterwards, you are going to list the possible causes of uncertainty. So, what might be the possible causes of uncertainty that we might encounter in a project? No, for example, the weather. We cannot certainly predict the weather. Labor availability, the availability of our labor, equipment reliability, material delivery, and others. And then you compute the EMV for this one and prepare an engineering recommendation encoded report. Then the report must have the preferred alternatives based on EMV. You should have also, again, your justification, what are the risk concerns, and lastly, the final recommendation. In the next video, we will have more practice problems, and we will apply previous discussion for that so that we could connect EMV with the other economic methods.